What's going on, everybody? Hope you're doing well. Uh, I think we're gonna have to add Mondays to the schedule. I know it says Wednesday and Saturday, which we're still doing, but we might be adding Mondays. Not sure. So we'll see. Boy, that's coming in loud and clear. Ooh. All right. Well, and audio sounds good. You know what? Let's come over here. Let's come. Ooh. All right. Just want to do that real quick. See how that sounds. Give me a second. Hold on. That's good. That's good. So we have sound effects, but they aren't blowing everything out of the water, so hooray. Okay, so anyway, like I was saying, so we might be adding Mondays to it, especially if we're going to be doing some deep desert runs, because every week there is what they call a Coriolis Storm. And what it is just ties into real life with the server reset, every weekly reset. What the Coriolis Storm does, Officer Doofy, somebody's shooting. What that does is it basically wipes everything out of the deep desert. It resets it. Any bases that are out there will be destroyed. It moves some of the materials around. Oh, that's weird. But it moves some of the materials around. The resources are going to spawn in some different areas, and they'll change up some of the little caves and the Imperial labs and stuff. Basically, it's just, a server reset, clean everything up. But the key thing here is, since we're out in the deep desert and we've got a base out there, everything in it and the base itself is going to be destroyed if we don't get out there and bring it all back home to Hagga. So that's our main focus here for this evening. I do want to talk also about this little project here. I have been spending a lot of time in the deep desert, not just stream time, but every day that I wasn't streaming, I was out there just on my own. I saved some highlights. I don't think any of my screenshots have saved, but all the videos did, which is a shame. But and I'm just trying to keep track of the progress so that I can do like a after action report on what we get when we get done. And throughout that time, I have ferried items back and forth quite often, especially bodies. Death still. But, and bringing resources back. And last night when I was playing, I started bringing some stuff back just to make tonight a little easier, some of the things that I don't need. But we got to get out there and break it down. And then we're going to spend this coming week, we're gonna be back here in Hagga because I just haven't done anything over here. It's been resource deposits, some stones falling, some resource depositing and picking up materials, and then back out to the deep desert. So I haven't done any quests. I haven't done any contracts. It's actually been very slight. I did do some aluminum and basalt runs a couple times, but that's really it. So we really had to back burner the main game in order to do all of this stuff here in the end game area, which, is what it is. But we did do some stuff here. Part of it is we have done some changes to our base. I'm going to showcase that right now. A while back, Mrs. Rabbit said that my base was ugly. And then she tried to say that she meant just the aesthetic because it's a very drab, it's Dune. It's not fanciful. But it was actually kind of an ugly base. It was very linear. So we had a lot of extra money. We bought some staking units. We started to expand some stuff. And plus, with all this great, bigger, wonderful things that we're getting, it's going to involve some bigger machinery and bigger fabricators. And we need more space. So that's one thing that we started doing. Now, if you've watched, you've seen that this is my hangar for the ornithopters. Oh, my eye hurts. And check us out. To actually get here, it's going to click again. There it is. But yeah, so now I know why it flicked here now, because I had alt tabbed. But anyway, this is my hanger, which you've seen before, but look, we doubled that baby up. We got our assault thopter sitting over here. We're going to make use of that tonight. But yeah, we doubled this thing up. And let's go take a look real quick outside. Before we do that, I should go over this. Let's take a look at our inventory, right? So, I'm not carrying a whole lot of stuff here. But one thing that I am carrying is, actually I'm not. So I need to go get that little solid auto projector thing or whatever it is, so that I can take a picture of the base. In the event that I go back out there, I want to grab that same little spot because it worked out really well. And I can just scan the base and there it is. Which is very helpful. Unfortunately, I'm not entirely sure where that thing is inside my base. I think it's downstairs. I hope it is. Yeah, dude, I have no idea. So we're going to have to go searching. And the base is kind of a mess right now. So there it is. Our first run here consists of... we have a bunch of water. Because we're going to need to... anything that we have out there, like the titanium, the strontium, and spice, is very heavy. All three of those. Strontium's lighter, but it's still heavy. Titanium and spice weigh tons, which means we're going to have to go back and forth a bunch of times if we're taking the raw materials. But if we could process it out there first and then bring it back, then we'll be in great shape. It's a lot easier. We can make it in much fewer runs. So we're bringing a ton of water here, and we did kill somebody, and we're going to bring him along too, so that we can generate some water in like the first hour, which will be helpful. And the rest of this stuff we're kind of traveling a little light because, like I said, we're going to need space. We're going to have to transition over the assault ornithopter because she's built for fighting right now. We're going to have to put the storage boxes on the sides of it. But yeah, we'll do that. So we need to get out there. Like I said, let's go take a tour of the base. So, as I said, we have doubled up here, and I put some fancy roofs. I did not finish this corner yet. I'm sorry. And I got to see whether or not I want to incorporate the same pattern across the backside. I did on this side here, and on the opposite side, it actually matches. I still have the small one down there, and you can see this is my old base here. So this whole side, which I'm going to have to kind of redesign this a little bit. But yeah, we got a good block formation here. And, ooh, can't be chasing spice today. It matches on this side pretty much the same. I just put standard walls. I'm going to put decorative stuff, make it look prettier. But this was just to get it up there. And got my little section that's supporting the hanger. Whoa, hey. You need to calm down or I'm going to put you in a bag. And then I hit those rocks. Here's the front. Look at this. So we put a big gate, and we got some more decor type stuff. I can only go so far over. One thing I'm finding is very difficult is, I got a lot of stuff in here, and I've got it laid out, a certain way. I can't just tear this apart. I got to find a place for everything. But, yeah, so this is what we've got. We made her bigger, doubled up our hanger. Very symmetrical, which is important to me personally. And there we have it. But the rest of this week, we'll probably be making sure we finish this off and figure out how we want to do this. And away we go. One of the main reasons that we've had to do that, let's go to the deep desert now. But one of the main reasons we've had to do that is a vehicle fabricator. It's very small, one little block. And the advanced vehicle fabricator is 3 wide, square, so it's 9. So, that's huge. And that's just the fabricator. It's not like the vehicles come pouring out of it. So, we just need the footprint space for it. And I made a little spot, which kind of worked out pretty well. For that and some other things. But yeah, we needed much more space than we had. And that's what we spent a little bit of time in Hagga taking care of that. This experience so far has been great. I had a lot of fun. We did get caught once and killed by a worm, not by players. We did get engaged a couple times, but we relied on our speed and agility, and uh, we learned how to make better choices. And we are going to be coming out of here with a ton of the resources that we need. And it's kind of been questionable, especially in the early days when it was, PvP zone was the entire deep desert except for that one little swipe. And then now they've moved it to where it's like half and half. A lot of the PvE and solo players were saying, hey, I'm never going to get this cool stuff in the top gear. Oop, we weren't paying attention. It's okay, though. Yep. Because here I am getting ganked and getting taken out by players because I'm not good at PvP and I didn't really want to. So I was kind of interested in seeing if I could do this without doing a serious amount of engagement. As a mainly PvE player, I will throw hands if I have to. I haven't had to in this game yet. But I played Call of Duty, I played Destiny and Destiny 2, and I've done Crucible and Trials of Osiris. So, if we have to, we could do it. But it was, how well could a non-PvP player start getting access to these materials? Spice you can get anywhere, but there's a ton more out in the deep deserts as long as the spice fields are blooming. Sometimes they don't. But Stravidium and Titanium are only out here, as well as some materials that you can only get from these little caves and the labs and things. So there's some materials in down ships. So if you're looking to get T6 ornithopters or buggies or bikes or any of that stuff, and you want some T6 gear, you're gonna have to come out here. And that was the whole point of this, was to come out here by myself, solo play this, and see if it's possible for your average solo player to come out here and do it. And I've got to say, yes, it is. Absolutely it is. You got to stay focused. You got to come up with a plan, and you got to keep your head in a swivel. But if you do those things, you can come out here. Maybe not as much as I did this week, but you can come out here and get what you need. I would say to put more priority on the materials, the titanium and the strontium, because they're only out here. You can get spice back in Hagga. Not a lot, but you can still get a good amount if you're paying attention. You have an ornithopter, you just kind of fly around, you look for an explosion. Most of the spice fields, even though they're small, that I've gotten in Hagga Basin, it was uncontested. Nobody came. So it's just me. So I took the whole thing. 500 and, oh, it's 500 to begin with, and then as you increase your skills and you get better at getting them, then it's, it goes up to like 560. I don't know how much it goes when you get the super fancy compactors and stuff, but the whole point being is, yes, you can do it. Now, there is the possibility that I am on a very awesome deep desert server. I didn't have anybody chase me down. I didn't get ganked by, a big crew and stuff, but part of that's going to be the thought process. And I'm gonna do a whole video series, like probably a two-parter, because there's a lot of material that I have to go through. Oh my God. But and one thing I want to talk about in that is I have operated this entire time knowing that I am not capable of taking on a big group of people, and I can't muscle my way into things. If I find a spice field and I start mining it and then a bunch of people show up, I'll leave, because there's just too many people and it's too dangerous because worms are coming. Or maybe I get shot up. it's been my experience that, if you're going to bring a carryall and a spice crawler out here, you want the big fields. You might take a medium, but you're not going to drop a carrier on a small one. And also, a lot of players aren't going to go after the small fields because they want the big haul. So while people are waiting and or fighting over these big giant fields, I'm over here getting two or three small ones. And yes, it takes me longer, but it's safer and it's good. So kind of know your role and stay in your lane, as they say. I'm the little guy. I don't have any offensive weapons on this ornithopter. It's built for speed. That's speed and storage. That's all I'm doing here. So by not acting like I'm a big boy in town and pushing my weight around and making smarter choices, I kept myself from engaging with people and getting shot up. So there used to be a lot of, there used to be a lot of bases around here. Let's see what's still hanging around. Those guys are still there. These are my neighbors. There was a base here. That's gone. That one's still there. That one's still there. And then a little tiny one there. But yeah, people are starting to clear out. So this also, giant base that was there, with them gone, that's an entire clan out of the way. These guys, it looks like they're leaving the base to get destroyed, but they have taken most of their equipment out because there used to be, oh, there's something here. What's this? Sorry, guys. There's a couple ornithopters there, but the carryall is either out doing things right now or it's completely gone. But we'll see. All right, so first thing we got to do is we got to land, take an assessment. Now, I made a couple choices here. Come on, open up. Thank you. For these guys, I still got 6 hours. So this worked out really well. I was able to put in as much of the low-grade lubricant to keep these power generators running. We'll be long gone by the time this expires, and they're actually the same. When you look over here at this guy, we've got 50 minutes before this one shuts down. I do have a filter, but that's going to be a day. I could put one of these in, but I didn't make any. And if I'm not mistaken, this one, I think, might already be off. Nope, we got 14 hours. So we have 14 hours and then an hour before this guy shuts off. That is our water generation that we don't bring ourselves. So we are on the verge of losing it. Water-wise, it should be completely full. Yep, because we left it going overnight. So first thing I got to do is we're going to take a look at our supply box here. I got quite a good amount of spice. I don't have any stravidium, but I've got a bunch of this. So these guys are going to roll. The good thing about not having any raw stravidium is I don't need to turn this on. This or that or the death still. I can only run 2 out of the 3. So since there's no stravidium, this one doesn't need to be run. This guy here, you can see we're still at 1125, and I'm going to go check on the generator status. That should be okay, but she's on. So let's see how many plastic ingots we can do. We can do 54. Where's that going to take us down? All right, so titanium ore is where we faltered. So we've got a bunch of stravidium fibers that we're going to end up taking back to the base, but we've got 54 of these bad boys going, and we've got 53 that were finished overnight. So let's drop you here. We got a couple bodies. This is actually bad because they're heavy, 75, but we do need to get one cooking right now. I don't think we could do all the spice. Looks like maybe we can. So we may not need water at all. Wow, look at that. So we actually had everything in house that we didn't have to bring anything. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually make a run. It's very late. We're going to make a run almost specifically going after titanium because it will process fast and we could start taking some things apart beforehand. We have oh, I didn't want to do that. Yep. Okay, so in here we do have a body. So we're going to bring this guy over. And then we're going to hit one of our skills on accident. Alright, so let's pop this dude in here. Dude, we got 15 minutes. We're going to get a bunch more water, plus what we're carrying should be okay. That's all good. So what we'll do is we're going to go back downstairs again. I've got those decade liter canteen things filled with water in the scout thopter. That's in case I need it. So we're going to drop these off because I don't need to carry them out there. I have my small one on me for drinking myself. Everything here looks good. So we're going to go out. We're going to get some more titanium because it makes very quickly, much quicker than spice. If we see a spice field, of course, we're going to hit it. But our main goal here is to just top off a little bit more titanium ore. Also wouldn't be against visiting some of these bases in the event that they're abandoned. See what's inside. You never know. Let's get up to some altitude so we can go. Also, made sure that I repaired everything on the ornithopter, so she is good and strong. Another thing, do it before you absolutely have to. Once we get up here to as much altitude as we can, we'll cruise in, make sure we refuel, and we are set to go. A couple things that I'm not going to be against getting. There's a spice field right over there. A couple things I'm not going to be too against picking up are any crashed ships that I see, because that's just a material that we take back. So, you know, it's awesome to have that. Remember I said we're going to go after strontium or titanium mostly? Spice must flow. We're going to go check that one out. Another thing I want to point out to you is, like I said, by making smart choices, I did visit some of the larger fields sometimes. And once there was too many people there for my liking, I'll leave. I've left fields where I didn't even get full yet, because that's how I got killed when I was here, because I got eaten by a worm that spawned directly on me. But yeah, you know, the big fields, I kind of stay away from them. And as long as there are big fields out there, the larger groups, the ones that are with a carry-all that are going to, you know, come to blows because, you know, they got to protect their stuff and probably have a good crew to do it with, a large number of people, they're going to be going after those big ones. The medium fields and the small fields aren't worth their time. So we can do it. And to be honest, I mean, you know, 500 spice, 600 spice is better than 0. And it's also better than getting killed and having to start completely over. I am not sure where we're going to come out to get this. And we're getting a little low, so we're going to go ahead. So I'm going to point straight up, and then I'm going to bring my free look down. So as we're climbing, you could try to see, we pointed pretty well at it. A little bit higher. Go. That'll work. So let's keep on rolling. Now that bloom popped up and then disappeared. So that means that's a small one. And we are at least getting close to some outcroppings where we could go to our original plan and find some more titanium. But we're also, oh, there it is right there. Also on a time crunch. Flying in, I don't see anybody, which is good. It's free look. Yeah. And there's no little spots from it taken away, so I don't think there's anybody there. Nope. All right, so this one's ours. Now, just because everything's looking great here, We're not going to get too stupid and greedy. We are going to take our time. But we're still doing the same thing. Fire them off, and then let's look to the sky and make sure that we don't have any company. So, mouse. Okay. Nice and easy. That's all we're doing. We are listening. You won't hear a thopter if she's gliding, but you will hear it if she's under wings coming in at you. And we're trying not to get too far away from our safety net there. And of course, as always, listening for worms. The end here, the fact that, this is the last night, I know a lot of other people are packing up and going home, that actually works pretty well for us because, the fewer people out here, the more time we can spend. And also, you got to play the hand you're given. This weekend, I don't know if it was an accident. No one farming at an I-8. It's actually a friend of mine. We're going to come out here and get caught up doing a bunch of silliness here. But yeah, like I said, some groups aren't going to be out here anymore. And the chat is actually kind of slow, which is a good sign for us. Oh yeah, I did. It's the last day of the deep desert. It's how we are now. All right, this is going to be risky, but I'm grabbing this last little bit. Small piles don't take as long. Let's get in. And we're going up and away. And there we go. All right, so got to watch out for the sky halud because sometimes they'll jump those dunes. Don't trust the coding. Okay, so you see that over there? He's like, hey, if you're going to come do this, you're on your own because I'm just loading up my assault and leaving. That's what most people are going to be. So we might go take a look at I-8. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time here tonight in the deep desert because I'm sleepy. And as I said, we're going to have a water unit that shuts down here pretty quick. So, oh, this is happy. Look at that. I'd like to get out now. Thank you. And we got a switch. Look at that. I did something silly, but because we're getting cocky, look at that. We're switching to our cutter array. Let's do that. Yep. Sorry, my positioning's all off. Thank you. Oh, I forgot to switch this place over. So stupid. Remember how I said you never do that on the ground? And here I am doing it on the ground. Man, I lost a ton. Oh, well. That's about time. And we're dehydrating quickly. Catastrophic mistakes that I can't afford to be making. How you get killed. Cocky in the deep desert here at the end of all things. Where are we at, by the way? We're in H6, so we're not actually too far from I-8. Yeah, so it looks like worms are being funny. And this, I think, honestly, guys, is the better play. Spice is great, and it's in a much bigger abundance. But like I said, you can get it. That's not what I want. You can get it in Hagga Basin. You can't get titanium. You can't get strontium back home. You've got to come out here. So this is the priority. When you look at it, you need, I think it's 3 fibers from strontium to make 1 strontium. Sorry, you need 3 masses of strontium to make a fiber. And then you need 1 fiber in order to make one of the ingots once you combine it with the titanium. So you need 4. And to make 1 ingot, you need 6 of the titanium blocks. So you need less strontium, but not by much. I tend to favor the titanium because it seems like it spawns less. In fact, one of these little rocky outcrops has probably 30 strontiums on it. So I have yet to see a titanium like that. So I try to favor picking up these guys here over the strontium, but they're both important and you will need both. Let's go ahead and switch that over. And we can carry this back to our base in Hagga. We have a medium refinery just like we do here in the deep desert. So it's something that we can process. It's not what I want up there. It's something we can process back home. It's just we don't have the raw materials. We have to get them out here. So there we are. And we'll do one more quick sweep and see what we have. Might be all of them here. Sneaky little bugger. We're stuck in our own aircraft. I got the range. Then I had to come down here anyway, so. Hey, we're gonna get stuck on, oh God, okay, get up there. Okay. How are we doing so far? We're almost full, but we've got space on ourselves. So, start heading south. And, we'll start making our way back to our base. And then we'll see how we're doing as far as water and resources and whether or not we can actually... A little bit of deflection there, but we got it. Sometimes when you're too close to things, it does not do well. So this might fill up the Thopter. That's close. Alrighty. Get some water in us. We'll come over here. We probably only got enough space for 1 or 2, and we're going to try to balance this out with the strontium fibers that we already have. If I could get pretty much all the materials down to like 0, you know, that would be ideal. We also got to keep in mind we need a ton of spice if we're going to run that machine. We'll get some exact figures here soon when we get back. Alright, let's hop in here and we will boop. Alright, so she's full and we're about half on ourselves. One, maybe two more. Not moving my head. What an idiot. Acting right in the face. 132. We got a lot of space. Alright, I'll take it. We got enough room for one more. That might max us out, or it's going to get us really close. I'm not going to push it any further than that. We could grab Stravidium just to take care of any deficiencies we have, but like I said, it spawns in a greater quantity, so I'm not as excited about grabbing that as I am this. Maybe we could go up to I-8, check out that spice field on the way back. Let's go ahead and do that. Because I don't know exactly how much of this titanium ore I need based on what I've got. If I need a little more, we'll come back out and get it. It'll be fine. You'd be going much faster than that. Just checked all but the I-8 one. Didn't see any. Apparently I-8's good. I'm not gonna broadcast that. I like being friendly. I like being nice, but I also don't like giving away my position. So I-8 is over here. Let's just go ahead and tag the center. I guess it's that big thing there. Yeah, we'll just keep it on the down low, right? I don't need to be telling everybody. I-8 has some, so somebody already told them. Great. All right, we're going to drink a couple of these just to keep the sunstroke away, and we'll see what it looks like. There's H7. I guess is that the I-8 field? No, I don't know. I would think it is because we got a worm breaching, which also means somebody's there. I don't know if that was friendly people or not. Excuse me. Sorry about that. This one's picked pretty hard. Look at that. Look at all the dots. All right, let's do a fly-in and see what we can see. There are at least two. And that's it. So, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We are going to drop in over here because we don't need a whole lot. That might be all we need. Come on. Nope. Give me a little bit more. But we're going to stay right here, and we're going to keep these guys at range. And we're just going to collect. This pile is not even going to go fully away. There we are. We're full. They can have that spice. I don't need it. We might make a run or two out here again. Over the course of the weekend, one of the reasons why we did an earlier stream on Saturday was, as I had said, we joined a guild and we were going out to get all sorts of cool spice and bring our crawlers out and everything. It was going to be a huge expedition. It was going to be so great and awesome. Not a single bloom the entire night. Nothing. Oh, I thought that might be a big boy. Sounded much larger than I would have expected, but whatever. So on our way out to get titanium, we hit a small bloom. Then we went out, filled the rest of the space up that we had with titanium. We did have a little extra. Got some information from the chat that said, hey, I8 has some, and that's right in our backyard. So we zipped up there, filled up the little bit of space we had left. Now we're heading back. And that guy's heading to it, so I might be filling up a little bit more. Another thing to consider is those two people that were there, they're going to head out. Don't know where they're going. One guy in the chat said, one guy said that he was just filling up and then he's going home. I would not believe him, but his name shows up in green for me, so that's supposed to be a friend. And so maybe he is actually leaving, which that would shut it down. But also looking at chat here, we got quite a few other people that are coming in, but they seem friendly enough. But we're going to gauge, see how we feel. That's another way, sorry. It's another way how we stay alive here. I'm going to drop this camera down a little. There you go. Take a ride. We're sitting back now since we were sitting forward. I like this setup. I've been changing things, trying to get things a little adjusted because I could never see the screen because I always had a portion of the microphone in the way. But we seem to resolve that. I've got full view. I can't see the keyboard though. I know that sounds bad, but again, I've been a PS4 or PS5 gamer for the last 10, 12, 15 years. So this game is a return to PC gaming for me, and I got to be honest, the multiple controls, I still haven't quite got used to it. I've found that sometimes my hand placement isn't quite right. So you do see me occasionally glance down and look just to make sure that my dumbass has got it where yeah, we're 45 minutes in, I can say words. But just to make sure that I'm not screwing it up and putting it in the right place. All right, so 2 kilometers out. We're going to hop out, immediately run downstairs, and we're going to see if we can add to the spice that we already have running. And we're going to see if we can add to the ingots here that we already have running. So hopefully we can catch both of those and just add to it instead of... Oh, look at that, stay in the sand. Sky hallude. Here's our little spot. Carved out. I do like this area. I don't know these people, my neighbors. They probably weren't too thrilled with me because I took up a little spot. Oh, that's wonderful. Never saw anybody in this area, so there was a base, I think, one of them. But so we might set up there instead of here. If these guys are going to do this when we come back, we shall see. Don't quite know yet. All right. Run down here. Spice is still running. They're both still running, so that's awesome. Let's go in here. Probably not be trotting. Put that there. I know I can just click this real quick, but oh, my neighbors are here. Oh, good luck, guys. Ooh, look at that. We're so close. Okay, we can add 8 more to it, but we can add water. And we do have a guy who is going to be finished here real soon. I'm going to keep that. We'll deposit all the water. I don't know. I could have stuck it in the thing, but whatever. I can make bigger water containers, but I did not do it for this. Again, this is like, you know, our first little experiment. Okay, so this is going to fill up to 100%, but you'll notice I could still add to the whole thing. I don't have to go to a different cistern. There we go. So we got us up to 31. Let's see. We're going to click on the spice thing, and we can add another one. That was close. She was almost done. Well, no, it wasn't. This moves real slow. Okay, so we're low on spice sand. And what can we do here? We could do another 19. We had a full amount of water, the best that we can do. Looks like we're going to have a lot of this left over. Because we need 6 versus 1. So right here we can do 50. 56. Yeah, I think we can do 56 right there. We can do 232. So we might be bringing a lot of stravidium home. I have to see. I am not going to pick up any stravidium. So I don't have to worry about that. Oh, we got extra bodies. So maybe I don't know how many hours I want to spend out here doing this. Okay, so one thing that we're going to do is we are going to hit our inventory and we're going to switch over to our construction tool. And the reason we're doing that is we are going to start breaking some things down. We are not going to use this anymore. Like I said, I'm not going to get stravidium, so we will go ahead and take this and we're going to go to demolish. Now, one thing about this is I had to save up quite a bit of materials in order to come out here. Some spice melange that I had mined, a lot of duraluminum, a lot of silicon blocks, machineries. There's quite a bit of resources invested. And the good thing is anything in the deep desert, when you break it down, you get a full 100% refund. Whereas any other place, like back in Hagga, you only get a portion of that back. Some of it's lost. So there's really no loss. There's no negative to building a base out here. You can, you know, easily get it back, which is awesome. So we are going to demolish that. And all those items just went into our inventory. So if you don't have the space, like I did actually have the space, so that's great, it would just land on the floor in a little block. So we don't really want to do that, but if it does, it happens. I don't know if our filter up here has shut down. Should be this one, right? Okay, we still got 17 minutes. So I'm going to let this guy go, and then we'll break this down. And at that point, we may have to... might have to let it go. I don't think we're going to need a fabricator, but I am going to wait. We are definitely not going to need this guy. The only thing we might need it for would be medium cells, but I'm pretty sure we've got enough. And since we're going to be heading back to the base, it should be all right. We got 20 minutes left on this guy. And I'm going to use the skill again because, like I said, can this sandstorm please hit so I can go do stuff? My God. So let's go ahead and break this down as well. And we're going to get some copper back from that. And I'm going to go ahead and tear my fabricator down. It's just going to be some salvage. Those things weren't on, so they weren't doing a power draw anyway. You know. We're going to put all this stuff into this box because this is our take-home box. And also, we've got some decisions to make. For instance, I've got 71 volume worth of salvage metal. Salvage metal's everywhere. Do I really want to carry this around? Or would I be content to just drop it here in the sand and let it go? I think the answer to that question is yes, I will drop it in the sand. I think I'm going to wait until this sandstorm goes by, though, before we do that. These guys here are all going to give us salvage metal, all the generators. So I think I'm going to leave all the salvage metal in the ground. I want the stuff from the machinery, especially the spice refinery. There's a lot invested into that. And this was the first medium one that I had. It is much more efficient and makes a ton more. So, that's going to be awesome. That is basically, I'm going to tear it down here, and we are going to build one of those back at the base in Hagga. And that will help us with the spice that we're collecting in there. I actually have a whole bunch of spice from there. I tried to keep things separate. I'm graphically going to get pissy here. My system does not like the sandstorms. But anyway, we didn't count spice that we got in Hagga as part of these deep desert runs. Anytime I was going back and forth, if I saw a spice field, I would collect it, take it back to the base, and drop it off in my base area, because that was a Hagga. Yeah, I wouldn't have seen it if I wasn't heading to the deep desert, but I'm trying to keep the Hagga and the deep desert portions separate. The stuff that I'm grabbing when I break down the machinery, though, is going to go into my Hagga base resources, because that's where that came from. So that's going to help us keep an accurate response, or an accurate measure of how much we got. One of the issues I have is I did have to use some of spice melange to rebuild after we died. My still suit here required some, and some of the guns did, etc. So unfortunately, we did have to spend some, but there are worse things. Okay, so let's get an eye here on what we need to do. Make a few more of these as the water's coming up. 338, so 56. And if we come out of here only having to bring back some of these, a minor amount, that's great. But to let you know what I'm talking about here, let's do this. So I have one, right? And that takes up one volume for one of them. Guess I probably could have just looked at that and saw 89. Duh. So we're going to split this the same way. And it's one volume for each one of those. And these show up at 0.6. Well, to make one of these, I need 6 of these and one of those. So 6 of these is basically a 6 volume. We'll call it 5.4. So it's 6. 6 volume versus 1 if I transport this back. If that makes sense, if you know what I'm saying. Let's actually do this. Split this down. Split. And we'll put this over here. I don't have any strontium, so we can't do this. But these two right here, 5.4 and 0.6. So that's 6 volume for these guys is the exact same as that. This will become that, and that's 1 volume. So that's a huge savings as far as space goes. That's why we're doing this. That's why I want to try to, if I could make 231 and roll out of here, I'd be very happy. Let's go, now that the world has calmed down, we're going to come out here. Going to hit this, go to inventory, and we are going to drop all 475 of that material. If they're going out for spice or if they're... Oh, I'm stuck. Damn it. Oh, come on, man. Alright, well, we're just going to monkey bars through my base here because I can't get down. It happens to be sometimes with the door. Even if I get to an area that would normally make me fall and drop, it won't do it until I run out of stamina. So, it's stupid. So we're going to go take a look at that spice field, because of course we are. I think everybody's heading to it, but everybody seems to be pretty friendly. Can't hurt to check. And again, titanium is our main goal. It's like that field is right over there. So, hooray. Somebody in chat just mentioned it about the fact that the color looks weird, and it actually does because um, huh. So our base is right there. Once we get over this rock, we're going to head just a dot off the southeast. See what happens. It's a small field that we could collect. Excuse me. The worm is bugged. Well, that is wonderful. That actually is enough for me to not want to do this. Um, uh-oh. It would appear as though somebody may have just gotten got. Did someone get shamued? Overall, this seems like a pretty friendly crowd, so maybe there is the ability to get a little bit of this done. This is actually really good timing to come up on a field when the worm is coming out, because he's going to go do his thing. I can just drop down somewhere, grab some spice, and then I can just roll out. Like I said, I don't really... Whoa, hey now. Oh, we jumped out a little too soon there. So we're just going to pop 4 in here. What do we got? 4 people, including myself. I'm going to try to keep my Thopter between me and them, just to be safe. Like I said, it seems friendly. It doesn't mean it is. Why is he taking off? I don't like this. I don't like this at all, man. I'm at 500 and I still got a red warning. Where'd that boy come up? Uh-oh. And the party is over. Oh, here we go. And that, my friends, is a grandfather worm. So this spice field is gone. So the little bit we just got, how much did we get? I got 565, so that's not bad. I still leave that in there. There we go. That problem has sorted itself out. So we're going to head over there, grab some more titanium. We'll check that little spice field that we saw. Oh, look at that. There's one right over there. I have fuel. I do not, but we always carry fuel. Someday, I will not have any, and all of you can make fun of me for it. I give you full permission. This works out real well, because this will be... Dorian. I've been there. I was there. Did that last night, buddy. No shame. Okay, so I would think this guy here saw that spice field, and he's probably pretty excited about it, but I don't know what he's doing. So I have a choice. I'm assuming that guy's heading to this spice field. He probably saw it. He was ahead of me. He's in an assault, so I can outfly the hell out of him. I don't even see him on my tail anymore. So wherever this spice field is, I will definitely get there first. It's right there. So what I'm going to do is, as long as there's nobody else here, which there is, because I could see already the center portions are getting done, so it doesn't matter. What I would do if there was no one there is I would take half and leave the rest. But since there's already someone there, I'm not getting involved. that is one of those things I was talking about making better choices or making the right choice. Um, I missed it, you know? Some people play this game to where it's like, you're, oop, wrong thing. Where you're, oh, wrong thing. It's where you're claiming ownership of things. Like, this is my splash field now. No, it isn't. Never was. It's everybody's. It's anybody's. I am not that interested in fighting and dueling over that kind of silliness. I'll just go someplace else. I'm fine with that. Far too many things to do in the world to bicker over 500 spice. Especially since we know of another one that might still be there when we head back. Wings seem to be doing all right. Just starting to turn orange. Stupinium. Oh, you see this? Stuff's everywhere. All right, not looking good here. Never been chased off a resource. Um, I'm not saying that it wouldn't happen, but people seem to be more focused on spice than these resource nodes. So, plus they respawn to whereas creepy. They respawn pretty regularly. So, I think that in the early days there might have been some fighting over these things, and they said they were going to increase the spawn rate for them, or the respawn rate for them. So we might just be seeing the results of their efforts there, and if so, that's good, and it's working as intended. Because I have not gotten into a resource fight. I have seen other people out here in the same area that I'm collecting resources in, but we got along. Bunch of stravidium. It's possible because that spice blow was so close and somebody was already on it. There could have been a guy here farming this, and he saw the spice blow, so he went over and grabbed it real quick. It's possible. And head over this way. The exciting world of resource mining. I see you. Before we get out, let's just see. I did have some. I figured I did. Ba-doop. And yes, I am actually a little more low-keyed right now. Not quite as observant and scaredy pants, being that it's the end here. Oh, look, I popped out on top and then ran across the wings. Nice. Just sliding away. It's okay. And yes, I did see that node that's going to be above my head here, so we're going to grab this. 67. Oh, hey, little one. What are you doing all buried? It's right up here. Okay, so it looks like that spice field just reset. Because that is a very big cloud. Not going after that one little nugget up there. Take me forever to figure out where to land in order to make it work. All right. I got a hair on my face or something, man. It's freaking me out. Yeah, I bet that thing did just reset. I got Stravidium on the side here. Sure is. Okay, so we're traveling a little farther south, and you'd be like, oh, wow, look at all of them. But that's copper. So, unfortunately, we are not hanging out in the good spots. We have ventured a little too far south. At least going that way we did, because look at this. Okay, I just wanted to make sure I had actually enough space for this. I don't want to break it. Waste that. Oop. Oh, sorry. Oh. There we go. We ended up getting it. It was just a little too close. Sounded close. So that bigger field over there, um, that one, going to draw some attention. So my play right now is I'm going to think that maybe no one's going to be over here at this little guy that just popped up and disappeared. Far too many people doing other things. So we'll stop. Why not? Not sure where it was. It might have been a little further along. Let's go ahead and get some altitude. So we're going to point straight up, and then we're going to do this. There it is. All right, so I don't want to point that way because we're going to run into some sand if I do. So we're going to point the nose this way. Let's pull out our compactor. Did not mean to land on it this way, but is what it is. And here we are. Boop. Take some spice. I like the small fields that are near the bigger ones because nobody cares about them. So a little guy like me, I can sneak in here, get 500 and some spice without anybody trying to kill me or people going nuts and calling worms by accident. As you can see, I do fire a couple shots and then I'll let it do its thing. Then I go pick them up. I'm going to hear rotors. Gotta be guys doing the big spice. Usually do 2 to 3. I don't like leaving that ring around, but is what it is. Let's be efficient. Gonna make little baby piles, but that's okay. Waste not, want none. Of course, each time I pull this trigger, I'm only getting a tiny little bit of spice, and my compactor is taking some damage. They tend to break quickly. I don't even think I have a good one. I had a great one, and then that's when I died. So I just grabbed, I think, one that I had sitting in there. Please take off. Okay. Well, that scared me. He showed up out of nowhere. At least he didn't spawn on me. Alright, well, we're up in the air, so we're safe. 459 now. Oh, I can't. That's right. You done? Alright, so we're going to land and position ourselves a little bit nicer because the field's almost completely gone. So we will swing by I-8 on the way through, and we'll take a look and see if that spice field actually did respawn. I know I said I only do 2 usually, but we're pretty much done here. So We just about got it all. So 154. We don't have a whole lot of space left. Let's go see if yeah, it's still blowing, so that means this field has just reset, even though the worm just ate it. I do not have enough space right now to warrant going to get that. But we'll fly by and take a look. Me and my guildmates were here for a couple hours on Saturday. Never saw one of these. Guess I don't really need to come over here and take a look because I can tell that's what's going on. The fact that it's been up so much and it just keeps cycling. But yet we got ourselves a field that was just eaten and is already back. All right, yep. Something to think about later. Let's get some speed up and we'll head on this way. So by the time we get back, two things will have occurred. Two things. Number one, our dead body should have processed, so he will have turned into 45,000 milliliters of water. Awesome. That will give us the opportunity to continue processing. We'll be able to make some more ingots. We'll be able to make some more spice. And also, we have extra body, so we'll put another one in, let him get cooking. We'll probably at least be out here for another hour. Second thing that will happen is our wind trap should have shut down from the filter. So we will break that down as well and store those materials. And then we might be looking at the possibility of having to make a run back to Hagga. We are going to go back to the hangar and we are going to pull the rockets because we had to be prepared to be angry. But we're going to replace the rocket pods on the assault copter and switch them to storage, which can hold more. And I'm hoping that we'll be able to take down or take apart most of the base and start shuttling things back through. Going to take apart all the machinery inside first, and then we'll start worrying about taking apart walls. I thought about making a chest back in Hagga specifically for the materials that I need to make this base. And I thought, you know what, that's a great idea. Let's go ahead and do that. But I'm not. And the reason I'm not is because I'm going to take a little, it's going to take a little tinkering. Like I said, when I came out here with my original plan, it worked, but it didn't. This base is still not quite working. I need a little bit more. My big issue here is I can play, like, I get home from work and once we get home from work, we head over, come out to the base, water's full, everything's running. Great, hooray, look, it's awesome. Then we get a couple things rolling like we do now and we're out of water. So we dump everything that we were carrying. We put a body in the desk still. We go out, we collect materials. We'll do 2 or 3 runs back and forth. And the water will then, at 45, will replace it. But unfortunately, the materials that we went out to get are more than the water that we just got. So we're still in the same situation. My issue here right now is I am not generating enough water for what I'm doing. So I either need to get another desk still in there, which means I need more power, or get another wind trap on the roof, which means I need more, at which point this base is not really going to fund that. She's a little small. So we're going to tinker with it. and that will help us get an idea of who, what, where, when, etc. Okay, so yep, he's been turned into water. So we're gonna come down here. Machine is finished, so we're gonna come up here, and we'll drop you in there, and we'll drop you. Let's go to the ornithopter. Drop you. You. Almost enough to make two. Damn it. Damn it, crap. Damn it, son of a bitch. Okay. Let's come to this. We'll pick up this guy. And we'll run up the stairs. And we'll get rid of our thing in our hand. And we'll deposit that. We got another 50 minutes. But we got 50,000 sitting there. So I think I can only make one. But, you know, one is more than what we were making if we make none. And how are we doing here? 35. It takes us down. We can do another 100. And we got 200 of these. So, yeah, we just got to keep going. All right, let's take you. And put you in there. And then we'll go here. Take those. And put those. Yep. That's fine. Actually, I'll drop you down in case we get more. All right, so there it is. And we're out of water again. And we still have plenty more stuff that we need to make. So that's the issue with this base. And I need to work on it and get a little better. Tell you what, I was gonna take apart my wind trap, the one that just shut down. But let's see if we can find this spice field that blew over here. I don't know if anybody took it. I'm thinking it's over in like this area somewhere. Of course, it doesn't matter. We don't really need a small one, since we know that I-8 field just popped again. So there should be plenty of spice for everyone. Let's go see. Ableman. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to hit the mic. We did empty everything out, didn't we? We did. Good. All right, let's go ahead and refuel. Looks like that might be a bit of a problem because we are down to our last medium cell, but we are, oops, sorry, we are full, or mostly full. So what we might do is we might come out here, grab some spice, get a good full load, and then we will potentially be heading back to Hagga in our first supply run. We'll take apart that large wind trap. I don't have any large wind traps on my base back at Hagga. Wasn't able to make them before. Got the materials and put everything together specifically for doing this. So we are definitely going to incorporate those into our overall scheme of things. So potentially here, I know there were some people that were already farming this. It did go away quick and then come back, but they might have hit the old dusty trail, and there might be even fewer people. A bunch of carbon. Might be fewer people than there were before. We'll see. If we get here and we don't like it, we go. Cruising along, we're maintaining that 172. It looks like we might be getting a little close to the top of this ridge. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to hit S a few times on the keypad. And that will pretty much maintain our speed, but get us just enough altitude to clear some of these higher marks. Okay, so I would think somebody's here since there's worms showing up. Again, I really like this. Showing up just as he's breaching. Let's see how many people are up in the air. All right, so there's somebody with a crawler. Actually, quite a few people. But we can stake ourselves a nice little claim right here. So that guy's still in, which doesn't make me feel good. Because he could choose to engage right now or at any minute. We're going to try to stay in the shade so we don't get ourselves some heat stroke. You lucky little mouse. Come on, man. Not sure what homie's doing over there. Make me nervous, son. I'm not going to shoot one of them because there's other people here. And once the bullets start to fly, they probably aren't going to stop. So I'm surprised that there hasn't been a breach yet. Can I do this transition real quick? Yep. Yeah, nice. Oh, I guess he filled up, so he's leaving. One less person. Again, unless they're like a team, like a little duo. Oh. Time to go. Alright, let's get up to where the line disappears. We'll pop some water. While we're up in the air, it's a great time to slide this over. We might get a full thopter load here. Getting a little warm. Not what I wanted to do, but okay. Stand in the shade here. Oh, we almost filled up. Even in a combat zone, we're gonna go ahead and make that switch. I say combat zone because I don't trust any of these people. I don't know if they know each other or not. That's a good carry-all pilot, man. He is quick on the cables. A little scary, wasn't it? Carry-all's coming back down. Trying to stay in the shade as much as we can. Potential that he's guarding these guys, so maybe he does know them. I don't know. It's just strange to see a pilot that lands but doesn't disengage or doesn't get out. I think he left though. Maybe he's just watching. I don't know if you're Star Wars fans or not, folks, but I'm starting to get a bad feeling about this. Oh no. Getting full. Might be able to get a full load of spice out of this. Yeah, cut it close. Absolutely. Absolutely. There's no point in doing it if it ain't dangerous. Spice must blow. It's going to drop in. It's their playing. Drop in right here. Right here where all the nice dark stuff is. We're gonna get a little extra brave here and there. The faster we get this done, the faster we get the hell out of here. And I don't know if I'm coming back. I just also want to make sure these guys don't try to run me over or anything stupid. Let's do this transition from inside. We're full. Think we can drop in, get one more, and that should do us. 71. Okay, so we're going to come in, we're going to get two more, and then that should fill us up. Yep. We're going to leave a little bit of spice laying there in the ground, but hey, it's all right. And there's another bloom over there. That's probably not a ginormous one. That looks maybe like a medium. I don't know. Hey, we will definitely have to see. Looks like a medium blast. Alright, so that's the rock that we're coming up on. So I think that thing's going to be over in like this area. Look like about right. That marker should at least lead. Oh, no, I don't want to turn. That marker should at least lead us in the right direction if we choose to come out there again. Regardless, we got one body left after we turn this guy that's in there now into 45. 45 liters of water. Then we have to go back to Hagga if we're planning on doing anything. So we get back, we're going to put all the spice into the box. We'll get some spice started. Don't know how much water we have. Probably don't have a whole lot. We might not even be able to get any going. And then we're going to take that large wind trap down. And we'll probably load up and see where we stand as far as materials. We can take our decaliters back, fill them up with water, and bring them out just to try to speed up the process a little bit. Still 4 kilometers out. Surprised that I haven't seen any Coriolis notifications. I think 8 o'clock my time, which is in about 15 minutes as of right now, we might see a notification to Coriolis Storm. We'll start seeing some of those effects. Well, there's a worm going crazy over there. What are you doing, dude? All right, my neighbors have moved out. See that? They are moving out right now. Hey, let's take a look at the time. Still got 30 minutes. It's forever. Boop. We did well, though, folks. We did really well. All right. Like I said, I don't think we're going to have enough water to do anything. We do not. So I think this is as good a time as any to prepare to make a trip back home. Boop. Put those over. And let's see. How much can we make? We can make one. So yeah, our water is really slowed down. We can at least do 100. So, all right, we'll see. Pop you in there, and let's go take that thing apart. Before we can do that, though, we're gonna have to go back to inventory and put our construction tool here. Okay, so yep, we got a red light, meaning she is brooking. I'm not sure where that is. I guess that's in the boxes somewhere or whatever. All right. So this also, general stats, uses 135 power, so that's going to help us there. It's closer since I'm sitting back. So that'll help us there, but not a whole lot. Like I said, we... Oh, and we're going to get some duraluminum, silicone, spice, melange, and some Surbox. So, skadoosh. There we have it. Now this one, like I said, this one's still good for a little while. I got another 12 hours, so we'll be tearing that apart before then. Okay, you go there. In there. And we're going to move, sorry, move these. 2 and 3. I could have done it easier. Let's bring our dead mouse along. So this is all the stuff so far. I can't believe I got a filter out of that. Oh, that's why it was, because I left it in there. That's a new filter. So here's all the stuff that we've gotten back so far. A lot of melange there. It's awesome. And let's take a look here. So with both machines on, we're at 931 out of 1125. If we wanted to, oh, that's my neighbors. If we wanted to, we could start tearing up some of these generators. But like I said, I'm not going to bring the salvage metal back, so don't care. So at this point, let's see. She's off because there's no power. So we are going to move some of this stuff into our ornithopter. We're definitely going to bring you. And we're going to bring you. And we're going to bring you. And the rest of the stuff we're going to leave. Like I said, look at that. 375. That is epically huge. Holy cow. So, we'll leave that there. Go here. And let's see. We'll start bringing some of this stuff home, too. I think we'll put this stuff on our body. And these things. So I want to make sure that I get, you know, just basic stuff, but I want to take this stuff that's got a lot of weight. 15, there's 157. That's huge. We're taking that home. And this machinery. So these 4 things all go into the deep desert box, and then these just go into our base. Honestly, it doesn't even matter where. Don't care. And then that leaves us just these guys. Go to backpack. Actually, I might be able to bring them along with me right now. I can. Perfect. We're good to go. All right, so we're going to make our first run back. We still got like 25 minutes or so there. We're going to go back and we are going to fill up our little leader thing. Ugh. Poor timing, dude. Man, we are right on the edge of that storm. We got to go that way. So it scared me. Storms look rather creepy when you're above them. This is what I was doing before I built the base. I would go out, grab materials, and then fly all the way back. It takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of fuel cells, and it also takes a hard toll on your wings. So being able to do the quick runs back and forth is pretty good. It's definitely the way to go. Now, until you can build a base out there, because you know you need spice melange in order to do the wind traps, and you need spice melange in order to do a refinery. So the stuff you're collecting in Hagga Basin, you want to save for those types of things, um, and that'll help you basically get your foothold. That's what I would basically call this week. This was just my foothold week, where I got out, kind of got a feel for things. Um, Understood how to kind of read the field and see what's the best way to go, where to get the materials I need, um, and it was a good experience. I was pretty happy. Um, I did play too much, way too much. Um, Going to a movie tomorrow, so not going to be not going to be on. I think we're not going back out this week. Is a full scale type thing. I might come out here and just do quick runs for Plastanium to see, because honestly I don't even know how much I got. I got a lot, but it's been my experience in this game, whenever you have a lot of something, you don't realize how much you're going to use, and it goes quick. So we'll see. You're definitely not going to make it above that shield. All stones. We have our moments as I'm killing my speed. Probably when we get back to base, we'll pick up a few extra fuel cells, just since we know we're down to our last one. I'm not going to bring any more bodies out. I would love to have that water, but to be honest with you, I don't think I'm going to be on much longer after we make our return trip here. I might. I mean, we did start an hour earlier, so I mean it's only 8. We'll see. But I'm not bringing any more out. I know I have one in the box and one being used right now. And down one large wind trap, so basically from the death still and the decajohns that we carry, it's the only water supplies we're getting from here on out. Alright, back to Hagga. Click. That a ship? I remember seeing that. Yep. Usually some good stuff in ships, but now that I moved out to the deep desert, working things out there, is that spice, you think? Um, it's just a whole lot better stuff coming out of the deep desert ships than the ones here in Hagga. So I haven't been going after them as much. Oh, I feel parched. Sure is spice. I don't know if that's in the radiation zone or not. We shall look. The hell was that? There's spice over there too. Do you see it? Looks like this is just on the edge of the radiation zone. Might be a fake field too. Those sometimes happen. If you push this and you don't see anything, like see how we don't see anything? It's not a real field. So it doesn't matter. Always good to check though. All right. Static compactor's looking a little questionable. Probably should repair that when we get a chance. Oh, see? Look at that. Look how huge that fabricator is. That's the large vehicle fabricator. So I had to expand this room to make it accept that. But you know what? Like I said, it doesn't show up there anymore. It's just that's the... Why am I carrying this damn compactor? Good God. Okay, so let's do this first. This is the new box that I set up. And we go to our scout. And we'll put a mouse over here. And we got that. And we have that plus this. Okay, so as you can see, we got like 840. And we have another box with some of this stuff in it. 252 spice melange. Here's 400. I guess we don't have any more of that. But yeah, we got 430 of it over here. Tons of spice residue. Don't know why. But yeah, we got a lot, so happy day, I guess. Let's see, we'll put some silicone blocks back, and I think that's it for this, right? Yep. Yeah, come over here, got some copper to go back, and we got some duraluminum. Should put that spice over there. Oh well. I don't think I have any room in you. Nope. This stupid stuff. Probably could have just put it all in the hangar. Several boxes up there that I haven't filled up yet. Fun stuff here. This was the original box that I used to use, and you can see I've got quite a bit of spice. Why am I not making it? Because I am waiting for this to all be done, and I'm going to build my own medium over here. I didn't want to use it just, out of the blue here, but yeah, so we're going to be doing that. That's going to be super awesome. I think that lubricant, yeah, I should put that upstairs. Oh, I know exactly where to put that. Nah, there's a joke in there. One of these boxes has some of that stuff in it. We're going to grab these fuel cells while we're standing around, though. That should be plenty. I guess it's this one. Nope. One of them's got filters in it. So we're going to go ahead and just dump all this right here. And yeah, we'll just put it all there. That gets her empty. All right, so as you can see, our base here has nicely filled up. Probably should use some of this water. Okay. If I really wanted to, I could grab more decade liter things. I have to make them, so that's why I'm not going to do them. Nothing over here that's worth anything. So we dropped off the stuff, refilled the water. I mean, I guess we just head on back now. This base is a little crazy now, as we're remodeling and doing things. Like, for instance, I used to come in this door right here, but now this door ends at a big rock pillar and nothing. So while we are down and sitting here, I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna go this way, and we're gonna get some life back into these wings. They're down to half. They go so quick. Especially if you get caught out in a storm or out in bad areas. Alright, I think we're in good shape, right? We are not. We want to fix this before we go. Remember? Luckily, that's right up here. Hey, Atreides won the lands rad. Alright, turn you on. Ba-doop. And let's get you fixed up. Cobalt paste and aluminum. We got plenty of both. We'll go ahead and fix everything. Okay. Glad I remembered that. At some point, I do have to say to myself, you know what? We're not collecting any more stuff because I could easily just run myself into the Coriolis Storm by constantly. Up, see, there it is. It's starting to swirl. Ooh. I could run myself into that storm by this constant. Oh, let me just go get some more water and get some stuff. At some point, I've got to say, we're not going out anymore. I'm gonna make one more trip back and forth in the Scout just for speed, and we'll break down a couple other things, and then I think it's gonna be time. So we'll make a trip back to bring back materials. We will switch out the rocket pods on the assault thopter and take Big Bertha out there to bring the rest of it home. Looks like spice. I think there was some over there too. Sure as hell is spice. Remember what I was saying? Fly through the radiation a little bit here. It's alright. Tail would probably be very helpful. I could hold a third weapon or something. I think that's outside the zone. We're going to find out. If it's not, we're going to bypass it. Just barely, but enough. Pushed that a little too soon. And it's a real build, so sweet. We're going to try to get every single bit of this. It's too much deep desert in me. I'm looking around to make sure there's nobody trying to kill me. You can't do it here. Faster would be better. Oh, we got plenty of time. I'm up here. At least that gave us a chance to cool down. Like I said, man, I'm going after every bit of this. Clear this whole field. It's going to take a little extra. I don't know, man. Maybe it shouldn't be so mouthy. Kind of parked pretty far away. It wasn't the smartest move. It'd be alright, though, but... There's still a spice field over there, I think. We're going to see. At least it gives me a chance to not be stupid. Oop. Let's get a couple fuel cells over here. And you know what? We don't need to be carrying this. This will make our lives a whole lot easier, dummy. In my own defense, I didn't expect to be harvesting spice. here in Hagga. Alright, we're just going to be douchebags now. See, I can do that because this spice field is now clear. So that's why we could run in there and just shoot and sprint. I see people doing that all the time in deep desert, where that's how they kind of lead in. It's like, bro, you gotta tone it down a little bit, man. I don't remember where that was. I think it was over in this area somewhere. We'll see. As we come in over there. Somebody might have got it, or it's right over there. This is actually okay because we're kind of crippled until our death still comes through for us. So we needed 30 minutes. So we got some time to kill. This has been here for a while. Look at it. It's rusting up bad. Kind of came in a little hot there. Did I transfer everything over? I did not. No, I did. Let's see if it's still there. It's not real. Oh, bad guy camp. Never mess with them. We're gonna. Saw them before. I was like, ooh, I gotta go kill those guys. I'm a monster. I hit that button fast enough. I'll come in there like that hot, and then once we start seeing the shimmering wall, I'll hit the shift key to come out of vulture mode. Keeps me from falling down. Although it really doesn't matter. I just feel like if I don't do it one time, that's when the worm will get me. I am next in line to join. Yay. Oh, come on, dude. And now we fly. So that trip from Hagga to the world map, from the world map to the deep desert, and then the deep desert out to our base, where we drop off supplies. Then I would get out and go almost the same distance away to the nodes. I used to do that without the base involved. No, that's no bueno. That is no bueno. And I think what we're going to do from here on out, we're going to resist the urge to collect spice. Because I feel like that's just going to keep getting us in trouble. We're going to keep bringing more back. Then we're going to actually stay out here longer. And then I'm going to end the stream and then I have to spend another 2 hours out here playing around doing these stupid spice things. No, we're going to actually call it. I may still make some more titanium runs just to kind of balance the numbers out. We shall see. Okay, now I was just thinking about that. I do reserve the right. If one blows up in my face, yeah, we'll grab it, you know. When the maker smiles on you in such a way, you best not shun him. Is this what's going on? Where's this damn horror show sounds? Freaking me out, man. You're able to make this flight without engaging our wings. Yeah, we vultured the whole way over here. Let's see, boy. All right, let's go check on homie here. How long's he got? He's already gone. Awesome sauce. Okay. So first thing we want to do is we want to get this thing running again because that's why we're out here. Dude. We can make 40. It's not bad. Took all the water we had, but now come out here. So now we hit the wrong button. Come over here. Switch to the Orne. Let's just go ahead and bring all of it over. I didn't want to do that. You're not going to let me do this, are you? No, the spice was too much. Click, 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 click. I always forget to stick the little 4-banger one in the vault before I do this. Okay, so we're back up to 32. That's fine. You guys can go back in here. I don't need you anymore. You can come over here. I know I said I was going to keep them separate, but it's getting late in the game, so we're not going to do that anymore. And we're going to take you and bring you over. And we'll stick you in. So we got 50 minutes. Let's see. We can make 4. Remember I said about one blowing up in our face? I think that used up all the water, though, didn't it? Pretty much, huh? So we're down to about 50 of these things we can make. But luckily we are putting ourselves in range. So we can start you know what? Tell you what, we'll break down. You probably have nothing in you, which it doesn't. So let's go 8. Demolish, and we're going to get some steel and some silicone back from this guy here. Skadoosh. I am not sure whether or not... Yeah, I'm not going to break this one down because we need 45 for the dead body. And there's not that much space, so it's not too big of a deal. Got nothing in there. Oops, sorry. Let's go back to the ornithopter and let's put our canteens in here. Got quite a bit of time before these two guys are finished. Power requirement. You know what? I don't care because I'm not bringing those back, so we'll just leave them all there. I know what we could do. Could take this and start putting everything we got into here, but it's not that big of an issue. So we got 2,200 spice. That is, we need 700. So we could do 3 more once we get the water for it, but that will take some time. So we got 700. That's a lot. Scout can only hold 5, so break it up. But like I said, also we're going to be bringing the assault ornithopter out here, so she can hold a whole lot more. But if I can transition that 335 down some more, that would be good. It's good. I think that last body is going to let us clear one or the other. We'll either be able to clear out all the spice or we'll be able to clear out all the titanium and strip. What is this? 302 and 92. So that's basically 400. It's 339. So this would be the better one to clear just for weight savings. And we are definitely going to have a ton, and I mean a ton, of stone and stuff when we tear all this apart. So, tell you what, we're going to commit to clearing these out. So this is now going to go back into the scout thopter. Shoop. Build it up nicely. Let's go ahead and we'll drop that down some because I know it takes 6, which means we're going to have 50. So we only need to have, I'll leave about 60 sitting here. And the rest of them I'm going to take with us right now. Doo-doo. We're getting full. Let's see, what are you? Oh, you got some in here. This I'm pretty sure we haven't made yet. So, all right, so that's a decent run. And are you empty now? That is empty, so it's going bye-byes. Boop. Oh, I guess that was sitting in the bottom. Huh. That creates a problem, doesn't it? I don't really have too much taking up a bunch of space here, but I'll tell you what we'll do. 47, 215, and 4. So you are taking up quite a bit. I think the scout's full, isn't it? No, it's not. Thank you. You gonna be able to accept this? It's 100. Tell you what, we'll take the 5. Come over here. Put the 5 in there. Then we'll take this. I guess I had that sitting in the bottom. I did. That was down low and I didn't know. Okay. We are full. We'll leave you guys. Got a body cooking. Do. And we're back to Hagga. So we're going to go back to Hagga, go to the main base. We're going to unload everything that's in our pockets. And then we are going to go to... we got a little box that I'm going to take the rocket pods off of my assault thopter and put the storage on. And then we'll make the last run with that. It's not going to take that long, unfortunately. So we may have some time we have to kill. We'll have to see. There is something else that I want to go over. I haven't hit any of the Imperial labs that are here. And to be honest with you, I'm so sorry. To be honest with you, those are best to hit in the early stages. Especially if you do it in the PvE zone because you can't hurt each other. And everybody's kind of waiting for that to show up. So, you know, to get in there, you won't be alone. So if you're not quite built for the fight, you'll be okay. I'm still kind of unsure as to what that sound is. Personally, I'm not a fan of bringing my assault thopter out here. They are just slow. If somebody were to try to engage me right now, they can't because it's PvE zone and we won't be going into a combat zone at all. But if they were to try, I could get away. I can outfly them. I can maintain a heavy speed. They would be hard pressed to get me, even without thrusters. But just those assault thopters, man, they are not speedy. Not speedy at all. All right, so we're a little off center here. I want to be going right over this section. Did I screw myself, by the way? Nope, I have one. Good. Sometimes when you load yourself and your thopter up, you run into a little bit of a problem because you can't bring a fuel cell over and you're going to run out of fuel. If that occurs, then you end up having to stop somewhere, get out, throw something on the ground, go back to your inventory, pull out a fuel cell, use it, and then you could pick up whatever you left laying on the ground. It's just a whole bunch of silliness. Should be able, at about 7:25 or so, we should be able to make it all the way to the jump point without having to do anything too special. Cheers. There's somebody else. Yeah, just as you cross this big rock right here that I'm pointing at, that's when you transition. So, do. There we are. Hmm. So this game is a game of step progression. You start out, with like a Mark One, Mark Two, Mark Three, etc. You understand that, but also with the refineries, it would take you forever. Oh my! Sorry, it would take you forever to go from like take a look at spice, to go from a small spice refinery to get enough materials and such to make a large. So you're going to want to do you're going to want to go from a small one, then you'll build yourself a medium, then you'll build yourself a large, and then hooray. Um, I think you need like 1,000 spice to to go with a large, and to get 1,000 spice from a small refinery would take quite a while. That's that field that I stopped at before that was dead. Let's just go make sure it's still dead. Wait, can I do that? Barely. I'll catch it on the way out. Because I've had that happen before where I find a dead patch and then I go back to it and hit it a second time and it's real. So, or maybe we should just stay focused on the task. Wow, we were moving a good click there because, man, we got thrown. Hey, do. Yeah, the base is a little weird. We got to get our inner hallways and stuff figured out. Okay, what do we... Nope, I don't want to use that one. So I don't think any of this was... We're getting full, baby. We are too full. This won't fit. All right. So when you have a situation like this where we can't fit what we need to, we're going to eventually use this. What I'll do is I'll switch to my buggy, because my buggy has a bunch of silliness in it. This was all stuff that I pulled out from the base a little while ago. Let's see, the sand bike. Sand bike will have some space, so we're going to stick our little mice friends in the sand bike eventually. 80. That's a lot of space for some residue. All right, there we go. Now we'll go back to the scout. And we still can't add any more. We can add 200 volume. We got 33. And that's 80. Or is that 4? We're screwed. All right. I think we could put them in this box, though. $22. Yeah. Another little mouse. Got Mises everywhere. All right, there we go. So the sand bike's empty. That doesn't belong in here. Well, it does. This we could put elsewhere. Even though we brought it from the desert, doesn't matter. Man, it's full. All right. Do. It's like I always pick the wrong one, even when I'm pretty sure I'm picking the right one. Let's see. That's good. Buggy has nothing for this. There's the sand bike and my backpack. So I'll put those things upstairs. You are my box for this stuff, but you are pretty full. And where else was that? The buggy? Sure was. There we go. Okay, just a little organization. We got some granite stone. That goes here. That's in the buggy, dude. Okay, cobalt, calibrated servox, and then that. Okay. So I'll tell you what. This belongs here. That goes there. You do not belong there. That goes there. I try to be organized. I know I don't have to be, but I try to be. Yeah, just want to make sure I emptied that out. And calibrated servox will go down here. Oh, well, I don't need to do that. I can just do that because I don't know exactly where they go. And we got some fuel cells sitting there, but that's okay. We'll use them at a later time. All right, so we cleaned up the messes. Let's come down here. Not sure where I put those. I guess they're still in the scout doctor. They are. Boop. Boop. And boop. Didn't have to clear it, but that's okay. All right, so we're going to bring these over and we're going to fill them up right here in these tanks. This will help us get clear of everything out there in the desert. I think between what we're grabbing here and what we have in that last death still, we should be good. Okay. Running around like a little maze. Okay. So, this big boy here, we need to go 6 and we need to detach. And we're going to take these rocket pods off. Then we're going to not hold that in our hand. And we have a small chest here that earlier I put storage in. So we are going to go back over here. Sorry. And we're going to hit this button and we're going to assemble. It's weird, it was saying the engine. There we are. So now the sucker is a non-combat vessel, but it is set up and ready to go for flying. And we're going to drop you over. We'll keep one on us. And you know what? Yeah. We're going to drop the big waters over there because we're going to do something since we seem to have some time. Okay. I want to look at this. Come on, man. There we go. So we have 1,000 volume with 15 slots compared to 500 with 10 slots. So that's a pretty good jump. And that should give us the space we need. And since we've made a couple trips already, we should be in good shape. There's those filters I was looking for earlier. Gonna bring a couple extra fuel cells just in case. Yep. Aim is off. All right, so we're gonna do that. That should be fine. Here we go. Let's go ahead and refuel right now. Feel like that had a lot more space. A little bit of rattling, but it'll be all right. So we could do like 170 kilometers an hour in our scout thopter. We can do like much less. Even if we speed up, we have to drop altitude in order to maintain that speed. So we're 20 some below. I think if you put it right about in there, right about in there, we should be able to keep our speed up, and our altitude is dropping fast, but we can just keep doing this. We'll lose some speed, but once our nose gets back down, we should pick it back up. Or not. She's a big girl. Guess we're just going to hit the wall here instead of, yep, we're a little too northerny. Oh man, my tailbone. Boop. So one thing they patched was the carryall piracy. A carryall is what you use to bring a sand crawler out. You saw one there when I was doing the field with it. That big, ginormous plane that was carrying the crawler around. But you could also just go and attach to any vehicle, whether it's a sand bike or it's a buggy or another ornithopter. So people found a way to just fly down and steal your ornithopter while you were mining. And apparently they fixed that. You could only attach to a vehicle that you have permission to, which is good. We're coming up on 3 hours, man. Woo! It's long for me. Didn't used to be. I'll leave it right about in there. We're going to lose altitude fast, but we're definitely not going to be able to glide all the way out. Hmm. So I was just thinking, I got a pretty small hangar up on that second floor. Pretty sure I can't be fitting this big girl in there. I mean, we'll squeeze in there, but she's gonna be sticking out left and right. Is what it is. It really won't matter unless we get hit with a sandstorm, which I guarantee you we will, because you can't be out here for too long before one's coming through. There were quite a few times when I was out there collecting resources and I would get hit with a sandstorm. And it did it again. I don't know why that's doing. But yeah, I would get hit with a sandstorm. And I mean, you have the little still tent that you can put up to save yourself for it, so you could like be out in the middle of nowhere, and that way, if you get caught in a sandstorm, you're okay. But to be honest, there's enough. I was always collecting some type of material, so there was always a rock formation near where I needed to, where I was, and I could just cuddle up to a rock and get that sheltered. Or yeah, we're gonna lose it here. So get that sheltered status of the enclosed, whatever, and weather the storm. But we did take some wing damage to the thopters every now and then, and I did have to fly through a bit of a sandstorm racing to get to the base. That was fun. If anybody knows what that horror movie sound is, let me know. Messing with my head. Glad I fixed my volume issues because that would have terrified me if it blasted in there. I could easily see myself getting trapped out here by constantly one more run, one more run. I guess they're leaving that structure, huh? Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I don't know how, but she fits. All right, how long do you got, buddy? You got 17 minutes. That's forever. Oh my. All right. This isn't full anymore, right? Yeah, no. Okay, good. All right, so Assault Point Scepter. Let's bring these guys over. Oop. I keep doing that. Or why I keep doing that, I can just be hitting the E button. All right, let's get over here. So we should come out to about 30,000 here, but we are a little thirsty ourselves. So we're going to need to refill our little 4 spot there. And we're also going to need to drink some. No point in having all this water and then dying. Right. Right. Okay, let's go over here. And we will put them in. And then we will go back to the assault. Let's put these in the bottom here so that we keep them separate. And we'll go ahead and put the stone somewhere. What do we got here? Okay, so we only have 750, or we have 0 spice sand because we took it back. So this is getting broken down. But before we do that, I want to come over here. And let's see, 27 is the maximum. So we still got some room. Once our little friend up there in 20 minutes goes away, should be in good shape. All right. Yeah, we can do 33 more at the most. 6. Yep. Just need our friend upstairs. Okay, so here we go. Let's go ahead and demolish this since we don't need it. Now this guy's going to be big. We're going to get a ton of plastanium ingots. So that's one of the reasons why we were ferrying back and forth. And we're getting 68 spice. So this thing takes a lot to build. But yeah, it was necessary. Um, Told you. Oh, that's the Coriolis. 9 hours for the Coriolis. But this thing was critical. The rate that it could do, um, the fact that it takes 1,000 for a small one to get one, where it takes 700 and it's doing 10. It's the medium is definitely a huge upgrade as far as your spice production goes. So definitely want to going to take that. And we just demolished it, and now we're completely full. So we probably have a box of stuff sitting on the ground. And let's go in here. Oh man, we almost got it all, didn't we? We'll put all this stuff over here. And that's huge. Reclaiming that. Chef's kiss. And then finally the last little bit of cobalt paste. Starting to wonder if the assault's going to be able to get everything out of here. Maybe. She's doing all right. Plus we lowered ourselves, right? Yep. Like I said, the generators I don't care about. The water we're definitely going to use. This should be... Yeah, we can do one more. Yeah, we're right about 30 and 30, so it's pretty good. Worst case scenario, if we end up leaving the basalt stone, we leave it. Prefer not to. Everything I brought out. But that's why you see all these other people with their bases where they're just leaving them, structures. Because, there's 100. I think we'll be good. I think... Oh, we got to take a death stool apart. That's going to have some fun stuff in it. After that, it's just this box, that thing, those cisterns. I'm kind of wondering if it's worth it to head back now. Let's do this also, general settings. So we only need about 600. So we could start taking apart some of these guys. Yeah, there's blue wings. We can take apart some of these generators if I wanted to. Like I said, though, we're not bringing the salvage metal back, so it's not that big of a deal. Oh, it looks strange down here with everything missing. Because if we do that, we definitely will have enough space in the assault. Tell you what, we're going to go do that while we wait for our little buddy here who's still got 10 minutes. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we still got crap on the roof, man. I forgot about this junk. I shouldn't say that. It helped us survive out here. I'll tell you what, we're gonna... I hate to go now because we just don't have a whole lot of we don't have a whole lot of stuff. I guess I could take this because the death still will give us death still will give us 45, which gives us 30. If we take that away, we'll be at 50. So we got enough. Yeah, we can go ahead and break one of these bad boys. That'll be some more space that we're not using. Steel and plastic. Wrong button. Still got tons of those. So it's just the death still and then the refinery and whatever else we decide to take. Like I said, I've been rebuilding my base, so we definitely, and you saw that I have tons of the stone. So even if we left the structure, it's not gonna be. There's worse things that have happened. I just don't like doing it just off the premise. 10 minutes. Tell you what, we'll make a. We will make a run. It's gonna take that and maybe a little bit more. But I may not make you guys stick around for that. Like I said, we're hitting the 3 hour mark, and this is definitely not going to be Emmy Award winning content as I ferry materials back and forth. I feel parched. Luckily, we grabbed a little bit of water before we left. We'll drink that, and we'll drink that, and now we no longer feel parched. I probably should have broken down those omnidirectionals up top, because we definitely don't need those. A little late now, and we are not aiming sooth. Also, I've got 9 hours to do this. I mean, I need to sleep at some point, and I have work in the morning. What I did, I got to be at work at 8. So I actually got up at 6 a.m. my time. I'm Eastern. That is when the Coriolis Storm ends. So I got up at 6 and was getting ready, and then I sat down, grabbed the old scout thopter, and I flew out to that location where our little base just was, and I snagged it. The neighbors that I had, they didn't show up until later. I'm sure they weren't thrilled with my presence, because they had to offshoot a base to the other direction. But there are worse things in the world, and we got along well. I said hi to them. They said hi. There's one time I came up and they had their carry-all parked on my roof while they were making some changes, and it was funny. But we got along. But to be honest, like I said, that big patch behind me where I was, there was never really anybody there. So I could put a small little base in that spot if I really, really wanted to. So, one other thing I want to talk about, at least for here, it'll be in the video of when I'm doing it. Um, Obviously, spice was a high priority. Titanium and strontium were a high priority. And then targets of opportunity would be like crashed ships. Anytime I saw those, I would hit those up. There's some schematics in them. And some materials you can only get out here. So if you ever see a crashed ship, there's always a good reason to hit those. But another thing, I think will clear these mountains. Another thing that happens in this area are these little camps, right? And, you know, why do you want to hit these little camps? There's the Endless Wait and Hunan's Grotto. And I will show you why. Well, that was convenient, right? Let's go to this one. So what these are is there's going to be little caves all over the place. And there's a couple bad guys in them. Some of the bigger ones will have a whole bunch of people. But what you just got to do is fly around a little bit and you will see where they're hiding. Like right there. Now, one thing is, now that they fixed the stealing stuff, you don't have to worry about your vehicle anymore. These aren't too bad, depending on your combat ability. And because there's no worms here, you can throw your shield on and you don't get any anger. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up here, and I'm just going to hit this real quick. Now we'll back up because she just said shield. And she's dead. This stuff, I don't know if that's any good or not, but they have good stuff in these caves. The big thing here is these guys, thermo electric coolers. You're going to need those for some materials that you're going to build. So you're going to take those, and of course micro sandwich fabric, EMF generators, and Solaris are always great. Some of these caves will have 2 boxes, even though there was only 1 person in there. So we will take the same thing out of these. We're going to leave the salvage metal because I don't care. As you can see there, all I had to do was kill 1 person, and we got quite a bit of good stuff. So these are awesome if you can hit these on your way back and forth. And like I said, you just want to fly around a little bit and... Oh yeah. Come on. There we go, big girl. Come on. You can get through. There we go. Oh my. So what I like to do, not in this vehicle, is I'll fly kind of low and I just look for that... Why can't I gain any altitude here, man? I broke my assault thopter, guys. Alright, I was a little worried there. We came out of them rocks and something was definitely wrong. So there is another one here. Let's see if we can find it. That's the one that we just cut down. And you'll see it, you know, gets pretty highlighted. Let's take a look at the map, just so we know. Oh, that's right in front of us. Is that it? No. It should be over here. There it is. Alright, so we're going to tuck ourselves in here. sure we'll have a load of fun getting out of it this time. Same thing, throw your shield on. Skadoosh. Might be 2 people in this one. I do. Yep, there's 2. I know. I know. I'll take that. Alright, so 2 dead. We'll come in. Don't need any of that stuff. So we got here some kind of a... I'll take that, sure. Alright, so this one only had 1 cool box, but hey, it does. So this is one of the main reasons I come here, is just for these thermonuclear coolers. They're super awesome. The Solaris are nice. Micro sandwich fibers. But yeah, something to do while you're here. So I think we should be far... Another thing about this game, it likes to stick stuff up in the air, so maybe we should not say there's just nothing else here. There is a big, fancy place. I think it's this one. I think it's this one that actually has like a finished chest in it, which is pretty cool. You get quite a bit of Solari out of that and everything. Alright, so let's go back. I was going to show you that on one of my trips out, but since we kind of got a little bit of a time crunch there, going to head back. Hopefully the desk still might be done. We're going to take apart the generators on the roof, the wind turbines, and we'll see where we stand. Might just hang out for a little bit and wait. I think we'll have enough water once everything's said and done. If not, we'll just grab it and go. So Solaris don't take up a whole lot of space. Those EMF generators, they don't either. EMF generators are 1.5. The thermocoolers are tiny. The sandwich fiber is tiny. So, you know, this is just some good filler stuff. And these, I believe for vehicle parts you need these. So... definitely when you come out here, one of the first things you want to do is build your little base, get yourself set up. And then within the first 2 days, I would hit as many of those testing labs, or the survey labs, whatever they are, the Imperial stations. Hit as many of those as you can because there'll be a lot of people doing it. So it's a good chance you'll go in there and it's just going to be a bunch of dead bad guys. Enemies are tougher out here. It's not even talking to me. But, there we are. Losing speed. But, enemies are tough, so it does take quite a few shots. And, that one that I showed you that has the end chest, that one gets a little hairy because you get a couple sword people, some scavenger people, and there is one of those chain gun dickheads who, you know, he'll mess your day up. And, there's also a guy in there that's shooting... drill shots. So even if you have a shield, if you don't dodge away, you're taking that. So that's no bueno. But I have not seen any crashed ships here really tonight. Uh-oh. Guess somebody's doing some mining. Good on you. Crash ship. Doesn't matter though, because it's dead. Alright, well, we saw a crash ship at least. We saw one. Crash ships are dangerous. Number one, you get eaten by the worm, obviously. Sometimes they could be a little glitchy. You could fall through them, so you're actually like inside the geometry or whatever you want to call it, inside the environment. You can get stuck, and yeah, I've found a lot of times out here that one probably would have been a bad one because of the way it landed. So you end up not being able to get all three of the hatches. You usually get the top hatch no matter what, and then because of the sand dunes and the angles, you're gonna miss one of the other ones. So now we should have our ass sticking out the walls. Yep. All right. Let's see. It looks like it's done. Sufficient water storage. Well, I mean, I don't need any more. All right. So let's come over here. We do this. We can make 27, and look at that. So we are down exactly where we needed to be. Okay. So what's in here? Not much. Let's see. 4.5 we'll keep on us. This is going to be heavy. Any of these other things, that's a bit heavy. So we should put that in the assault doctor. What else? 11, 24, 95, 5. So yeah, it's definitely better to have a 5 on us. Wait, what are you? 23 and 15. Okay. The rest we're probably going to save for some stone here because that's going to be huge. So let's go back to our backpack. We'll put this there and that there. We'll see. All right. So this bad boy is running. It's going to finish off everything we've got. The water we no longer need to worry about. So let's go up here. These generators will be able to keep everything going. The death still is going to be a little heavy. Wow, it's a lot of stuff. We weren't able to keep it all. So that's going to have an effect on things. That's what filled us up. So this is 87, right? I guess we'll take the spice out. No, we'll take that out. 11, which is better than 22. We'll leave it in there for a second. Okay, so what do we got now? I think we had that over here, do we not? We do. So this is good because it fills up this arrow, but it doesn't take up any of these spaces. Sorry about hitting that, guys. And we still have to make room for 8.5 is a little more now. But not as much as 11. And I'll tell you what, we'll put these two together. So now we're at 21. We'll move things around for no reason. Oh, these guys have to come out, right? Well, one of them does. Let's pull these all out. Actually, oh, those are vehicle storage. 0.5. I'm just trying to figure out the best configuration that's going to let me get as much of this crap out of here as I possibly can. Let's drop that out, and we're going to take some stuff apart, because the only thing that's running right now is this guy, and it only needs 45, so we are clear to destroy everything on the roof. We don't need any more water. So let's go ahead and demolish this. And we were able to hold everything, which is awesome, but now we're at 171. I don't know, guys. We might have been better off just heading on out of here when we went over there and messed with those caves. Well, that's nice, because that'll compact up, and so will that. Pretty sure I've got spice somewhere, right? Yep. Starbucks, that's just about it. What am I so heavy with, though? Got way up there. Is it just you? No, it can't be you. There it is. It's like, dude, why am I so overloaded? Put you over there. Look at that. That's awesome. 32 is definitely going to have to take up space. All right, let's go break over the other things. And we'll get some steel and some cobalt paste. What are you? Are you the... Yep. And some grease that stays there. Come on. Open the door. I think we got cobalt paste definitely in the other thing. I don't know if we've got Surbox, but... Yep, we got some cobalt paste. Boop. No Surbox, though. We're doing good. We got about 300 that we can do. That'll be a bunch of this. And still got to figure out space for those. Does some damage. But I'll tell you what we could do. We'll strip everything down. And we will get this to the point where all we need is to come back out with our scout thopter and carry everything else home. I'm not going to bring the scrap metal. I don't care about it. So all those generators, we can just blow them up. I don't really need the plastone and the granite, but I want to keep it because I got it before. So I forgot you were in here. I did. I completely forgot that you were in here. Yeah. Well, come say hi. Say hi to everybody. Come here. Oh, say hello. He hates being held. You've been really good, though. You must have been sleeping. You sleeping somewhere? Sorry. But yeah, I think that's what we'll do. We'll load everything up that we've got right now, and we're going to do another trip. And it's just going to be a breakdown. We're going to tear up everything. You know what? Since this is running, we don't need those water. And there's nothing generating water, so these should be empty, right? Oh, look at you. You still got capacity. I never should have talked to you, because now look at you. Just want to sit there? Come on, man. Can't be on the desk. So I want to make sure there's... I know there's no water, but yeah, okay. All right, so the only thing we got is some generators, a storage box with nothing in it. So I guess we'll go ahead and tear that down too, right? But we filled ourselves up, and we had to leave all that stuff laying there. Let's see. Drop you. Drop you, and we'll drop you. Pick you up. Good. Can I bring you over now? Good. Okay, so you guys stay right there. Just a little closer. Come on. Doesn't go anywhere, but that'll let me go pick up the rest of that crap. How much longer you got, man? Not long. Not what I wanted to do, but that's okay. I think I just switched everything, yeah. Moved everything, because I could just hit that quick button. It's only 3.3, ain't a whole lot. Just trying to figure out, folks, the best way to arrange this all up. Take as much as I possibly can before we start breaking it down completely. But yep, this will be the end of our week of. You didn't see that. That didn't actually happen. This will be the end of our week of deep desert fun, and I did enjoy it. I kind of like the danger aspect. Not ridiculous, but you know, danger at every turn, paying the price if you make a bad decision. I'm for it. That was fun. Um, I probably wouldn't want to do this every week. And it may not be so bad to, let's say, come out here and just make a small base and something like this, like I have here, and it only for processing so I can make more of this plastanium and not worry about the spice. Or come out here and just get spice. Or since I joined a guild, they usually build a base out here that everybody shares. So get access to that, and then I can use that instead of building my own. I'm not going to take any supplies from anybody in that case. I'll just go out and get my own, but it'd be nice to have a spot to process it and all that. But I also get a little concerned on that because, does somebody already have stuff going? What's the timing on it? Would it be better to just have my own little section? Um, but, is what it is. We made out like a bandit on this plastanium. And I did focus kind of heavy on that. More so than spice. Spice just, whenever it happened, it happened. But it's going to take a while for me to go through all this footage and put it together as some kind of a video. And like I said, tomorrow I'm going to the movie, so I'm not doing any Dune Awakening. So before we shut off tonight, we got to make sure bases are fueled and everything's lubricated and everybody's ready to roll, and they can take a day or two. My taxes are paid up in the game, so it is what that is. One more. This was fun. I'll do it again. Won't do it again this week. Take some time. But yes, it was fun. I don't think I get much from breaking you down. But I get enough to film the... Oh, no, don't do that. You have to fill everything, and that's the important stuff. Can't win. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll come over here and do the same thing we just did a second ago. Really? It's crazy. Put you in there. Put you in there. Is that enough space for you? Yep. We'll put that cobalt paste back, and we'll be able to pick up the leader, John. And I guess we could come out here in the scout thopter, and we'll be able to grab all this stuff. You know what? You'll go over there because you're quite heavy. The other issue for breaking the base down is I don't have a whole lot of personal space on me. So that would be rather difficult. Weird. It did pop in. Yeah, it sure did. All right, so there we are. But yeah, like I said, I don't have a whole lot of me space in the inventory, but we did pack in all the severely important stuff, you know. Like we've got 113 here, we got 193, 58. We can combine those. Just realized that. Don't have a whole lot of weighty stuff, and we've only got about 50. Less than 100. So even if we start breaking the base down, I'm not gonna have enough room to carry everything out. And just because I'm the way I am, I'll probably want to do that. Those generators, like I said, I don't care. And my sub thief was in there this whole time. But yeah, we'll probably do that. We'll come back out here with the small thopter just to collect all the stone. And take certain pieces of it without causing too much of an issue. I don't know, man. Maybe I could take a bunch of this. Start taking this stuff, it's gonna break things, so. That heavied us up pretty good. And we are now unprotected, unsheltered. We might be able to do this, guys. We will be packed to the brim. I gotta be careful. I'm starting to overheat. All right, so we just filled up on plastonium there, but see how much we can. We can stuff a bunch in there. We got. I don't think we'll get the whole base, but we're gonna get a bunch of it. Things we do, right? Go over here in the shade so we're not dying. So I'll also be, uh-oh, there we are. We are almost full, so I can take about 40 more. Ah. Still got a lot of stuff here. I wonder if that, can I take that too? It's how I roll, you know. They abandon it. Gotta be careful, make sure I still have a way to get in that thing. Also don't want to bring it crashing down on my head. This is just me being udgy, you know? The whole reason for this. I just don't like leaving stuff laying around. And since I mined these materials, I kind of want to keep them, you know? There we are. We are full, full, full. And there it is. Salvage metal, right? Yeah. So we have a fully loaded me and a fully loaded assault doctor, but we got everything that we needed. We got all the important stuff. We're gonna leave behind some stone and some generators, but who cares? Like I said, we might come out one more time, clear the rest of this off so that we're not littering. Although the storm is going to definitely take care of it anyway. Hey, we got some basalt stone right there. Might actually see if I can tear up the neighbor's yard here too. I don't know if I can or not. I think I have to have permission to tear that apart since it's a PvE zone. But abandoned bases are, you know, a certain way. But it's going to take me a while to compile exactly how much I got out of this and where we go. And I do have, like I said, to calculate a couple things in because I got myself killed by the worm the one time. So I end up having to use some of the materials that I was gathering because I needed the melange, I needed stuff for like the still suit and some of the weapons. So there was some minuses that I've got to calculate into, and then what's left over in those boxes plus what I'm carrying right now. So that'll give me an idea of how much I got, and like I said, I'm definitely doing at least a two-parter that's going to go over how I did this, what I did, and what the end results were. So you don't need to watch me coasting my way back and forth between Hagga Basin and moving very slowly at this point, but these assaults, they just kill me. But anyway, folks, so on that note, well, 345, well, 341. That's a long one. But hey, end of the week out in the deep desert. I had a load of fun, got a ton of stuff, got to go through and see exactly what I have and how it's going to improve the rest of the gameplay for me, Hagga Basin. Like I said, one of the biggest things that I could see right now is going from that small spice refinery to a large one, or not a large one, a medium one. And I don't think I have enough yet to make a large, but having a medium will be much more fast. It'll be more efficient and faster, and should get us to a large. Depends, but much quicker than if we stayed the way we are now. So that is probably the best reason for me for coming out here. Um, I know this also opened up the option for me to make some Mark 6 ornithopter and buggy components. Uh, some of the tools that we need. I got quite a few really cool schematics and patterns from some of the ships that I looted, some of the labs and the camps and stuff. So we did pretty well with all that considered. But like I said, I've just been focusing on trying to get as much done as possible. Played far too much this week than I should have, and now I got to get caught up on real life tasks. But yeah, and it was a good learning experience, and wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought coming out here was just going to be a lamb to the slaughter, but no, we there's a ship over there. I'm so full I probably shouldn't even look at it, but yeah. So anyway, folks, with that, I'm going to call it a night here as we slowly make our way back to Hagga Basin. I just don't like these things, man. They're so slow. They're so slow. But yep, should be back on Wednesday, and hopefully we'll have at least some information and some improvement. We're gonna not play tomorrow, like I said. We're gonna get home from work. Got to get ready. We're going to the movies. Going out to dinner. Going to the movies. So that'll be fun. And we won't get back until late, and then it'll be bedtime by then. So we won't be back on until Wednesday, but hopefully at least we'll have an idea of where we stand. If not, then by Saturday, we should have part 1 finished, and we'll be back in like normal, 7. Maybe do the 6. I don't know. I like the 6 thing because, if we would do 3 hours, we're pushing. It's almost 4. My gosh. I'm way up in the air, too. But yep, we're going to head on back to Hagga Basin, sort out the mess, and I think we might be calling it a night after that. So, thank you for watching, folks. Hope you appreciated it. A like, subscribe, thumbs up, any of those things would be definitely helpful. Feel free to leave a comment as well. And as always, I will see you out there. Take care.